I just left the meeting about 20 minutes ago here at the White House. I can't say a lot, but let me say this. Okay. We are aware of this coordinated effort. We are aware that this is being financed. We are aware that there are actual groups well coordinated to attack the men and women of ICE and to try to prevent them from doing their jobs.
We're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers. Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid. We're the transportation company.
What about if a mass shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. It will be because of you.
Folks, you know, I've had many who are close to me that question President Trump and all that he is doing with the question of where are the arrests? How do you answer them? What is the issue that is surrounding all of this exposure? Will we ever get to the point when the enemy goes down in droves and we can see some relief? We will show you some of that today with the continued exposure in Minnesota and the rhinos who actually went against America again with their voting. I'm going to show you that. There's a positive in all of this. Just hang in there. We've got 500,000 followers on Rumble. Thank you so much for hitting that like button and follow. It helps us get to the top of the leaderboard on Rumble, and we really appreciate that. It's been a great journey with all of you. Also, we still have openings. I'll keep reminding you because they're giving us more rooms on the Freedom Cruise 2026, March 15th through 22nd. Many have signed up, and you just wanted to show you this clip. This is what you can expect when you get on the cruise. Hundreds of And We Know fans together in the crowd. And here's Tim Lovelace.
A woman with 27 grandkids.
Oh, some of y'all look like you're at the dentist. I tell you, we're going to have a great week. Let's turn it around the boring way. Everybody, let's sing so loud they hear us on the other end of the ship. You ready? Here we go. Well, I'm my way.
I worked for all my life, and I had to start again. Just my children and my wife.
This is pretty amazing. The music, the tears flowing, the audience, and their just continued tears flowing. Support for our great country and so much more. We're going to have great podcasters there. A number of them will be joining us on the stage to talk and share, and we'll have amazing Q&A sessions and meet and greet. I hope to see you in that all together there heading to Puerto Rico.
Trump officials are sending 1,000 more immigration officers to Minnesota. The Customs and Border Protection officers are joining 2,000 other officers and agents at the Department of Homeland Security who've been recently deployed to the Minneapolis region. CNN said that 2 federal law enforcement sources told them that around 1,000 additional U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents are expected to deploy to Minneapolis as tensions between federal law enforcement and local counterparts flare after an ICE-involved shooting last week that left a mother of 3 dead. CNN also talked to U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar yesterday.
They literally are sending over 3,000 ICE agents into one state. There are like 600 sworn-in officers in Minneapolis and 550 or so in St. Paul. So the ICE agents are literally overwhelming our own police force. This is not LA. This is not Chicago. And Minnesota is right now the center of America's heartbreak.
Oh, boy.
This is no time to be playing games with national security and public safety, and that's what Democrats are doing, beating the drums up here. Remember what ICE stands for. It's Immigration and Customs Enforcement. They are enforcing the law. They are apprehending the dangerous criminals who were allowed into our country because Joe Biden kept the border wide open for 4 years. An estimated more than 20 million people came in. Many of them are a great danger to our community. A lot of them have collected in cities like Minneapolis. You know, these sanctuary cities, they're all there, and so ICE has to go and do its job. There's a lot of spin on the Democrat side. They're assaulting our law enforcement officers, and they're breaking the law. They need to get out of the way and allow federal law enforcement to do its duty. That serves all the American people.
Yep, so the Dems are pushing the government shutdown, threat to cut ICE funds, and boy, another government shutdown. Can you imagine? Oh, man. Oh, here's some more from the ICE.
The response to the mayor telling ICE to get the F out of the city.
Sure, you know, Mayor Fry seems to, again, Matt, we've said this many times, choose illegal aliens and criminal illegal aliens over the American citizens in his city. Let me say that again. He chooses criminal aliens, aliens that would harm children, kill, rape, and maim American citizens. He chooses them over his own citizens.
It's amazing. You know, we watch all of this play out, and if you didn't see these, if you're not watching the videos, tell you what, they're still trying to run over our ICE agents. And I'm show you this real quick.
Watch out in front of you! Watch out in front!
There he goes. They blocked him in, and this vehicle thinks he can get out. And he still rams the car thinking he's going to get through.
Cut it off! Cut it off! Now! Cut it off! Turn off the car! Cut the car! Cut off! Come out of the car! Come out of the car! Come out! Now!
The guy finally comes out of the car. He's got guns pointed at him. I'm sure he probably saw the video clip of what happens when you try to run these guys over. His life could have ended. Another guy risking his life. I put in the description box below the full video, about 50 plus minutes of Nick Shirley. We've been waiting for this bombshell on more exposure of these criminal illegal aliens out of Somalia and what they've done to steal all of your money.
This right here is Hopkins Child Care Center. They're receiving over $2 million a year. All of the windows are completely blacked out. You can't even get in. And for a place that's supposed to have over 100 children, there's no footprints anywhere going into the store. And it's locked. Midday right now. This is the back side of the daycare. We're ringing the doorbell right now.
Whew. Takes a lot of risk doing that stuff, huh?
Hello, sir. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yes, sir.
Get out. Okay, listen.
Get out.
This is our business.
Yes,
What are you looking for? We don't care what you do on the parking lot.
Go this side.
This
private. I can be here in the parking lot.
No, you don't be here.
Wait, can we ask you about the daycare? It's all right. Can we ask you about the daycare?
No. I don't care, Ken.
Sir, I'm not racist.
You have to live here.
I'm asking you.
No. You don't ask me nothing.
$2.25 million.
Get out, you guys. Get out.
$2.5 million.
Get out. This is our business. Get out, hey. Get out. What are you looking for?
We're asking. We just want to
get out.
We just want to ask you about $2.25 million.
The import third world, the infiltration instead of invasion. And you see the behavior when they're being exposed. Those that scream the loudest are the ones that are guilty. Hopefully they've been caught. Hopefully the information is flowing into our government. And we're certainly hoping to see all of them rounded up and put in buses and put on airplanes and finally taken out. So all he does is he continues to yell and scream at Nick Shirley while Nick's just simply asking questions, and all they know how to do is show their guilt. Here's another one.
We're not because of fucking 2,000 providers. Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid. Where's the transportation company?
What about listen, happens in Minnesota?
So he's looking for the transportation company. He's simply asking a question. Where's the transportation company here?
It's because of Nick Shirley.
This is about fraud.
One single Somali gets hurt.
This is about fraud,
it's
sir.
Of you sensationalizes.
So he's stating that Somalis will get hurt because of him. If one single Somali gets hurt, no, they're not going to get hurt. They're going to be sent home. They're finally caught. And they can't stand the fact that they're being exposed. And Nick Shirley going out there showing his face and more to the world puts him in danger.
Tell me where the transportation vehicle is.
Clicks. You got YouTube clicks. Now get the f out
And
of
Nick is finally, he's staying calm. He's got his security there with him, which is good.
This is about fraud.
But it could get out of hand.
Say it. Say I want to change the Constitution.
No, I don't want to change the Constitution.
Freedom of religion, and I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota. Kick them out. I was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me. Relax. That is what you are arguing for.
We're not talking.
Change the Constitution.
This is about fraud.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
That's about fraud. It has nothing to do with citizenship. And here, this is a Somali activist who was arrested in Minneapolis for obstructing ICE. She hangs out at the UN. Is she friends with the Somalia's ambassador to the UN who had a healthcare company which was convicted of Medicaid fraud? All of this playing out day after day.
Hey.
Then they pull up their cars when they see Nick Shirley. Now his name and pictures going around. And they stop their car in the middle of the road and run up to scream at him.
It's a nonsense.
You should get in your car.
You should not be doing that, right? You are creating misinformation. This is not fair. It's not fair for the American people to be doing that.
It's not fair to expose that they're stealing all of the money from the taxpayers.
It's not fair. It's not fair what you mean. You cannot be doing that. You're not being fair.
How?
This country is built on fairness. You're not being fair. You cannot come into the community and be doing that.
So we shouldn't allow fraud to be happening, right?
Let the legal system do its job.
Well, it's failed.
We got a governor. We got a attorney general. Let them do the job. You're not in a position to do the job. You're not a prosecutor. If you want to run for office, go ahead, run for office. But you cannot be doing this. This is misinformation. This is information.
Let him speak.
How is it misinformation, sir? It's from the
This is what you're doing.
state
you're coming
of Minnesota.
You're coming everywhere. Where you coming from?
You see what I mean? We're talking about.
It's Southside. It's my turf. Get it?
Sir, so you.
What's going on, man? Hey.
Oh my goodness, they are losing it. They're losing it. Somali suitcase stash. Feds say that 130 million moved from Ohio airport to Minnesota on the way to overseas. President Trump said they should be thrown out of the USA. Get it done now. That includes their loser, Representative Omar, who married her brother, Gross, President DJT. He said that. And so, again, if you're wondering about these protesters and if they're actually getting funding, just want to show you this.
Hey guys, quick announcement before we keep on going. Washington and Como, your vans are here to take you guys back to school right there in front. So you guys should start heading out. That vans are going to leave at 2:40. So Washington and Como, if you guys need to get on those vans, the vans are right there. Just heading out. The first van's there.
So just want to let you know, we've got the funding. We've got the vehicles for you. And if you need a ride, don't forget to get your ride back because we brought you here to drop you off so we can participate in this protest. Oh, yeah, there's funding going on. Mm-hmm.
I just left the meeting about 20 minutes ago here at the White House. I can't say a lot, but let me say this. Okay. We are aware of this coordinated effort. We are aware that this is being financed. We are aware that there are actual groups, well coordinated, to attack the men and women of ICE and to try to prevent them from doing their jobs. Accountability is coming because we're working very closely with DOJ, the FBI, HSI. We're doing a deep dive into this. We'll follow the money. We'll follow these groups. We'll investigate these groups. Justice is coming to these people.
Justice is coming. It's good. It's good to hear. We want to hear that. All of this playing out day after day, and we're getting sick of it. We want to see the justice, obviously. But things have to play out the correct way. I'm going to show you here in a moment Joe Lang and his take on the recent cellular carrier disruptions. Cell phones. Disruptions across major U.S. lines. What that has to do probably with all of this. We'll get there in a moment. Are you tired of tap water loaded with toxins like lead, arsenic, and chlorine? That hidden danger building up in your pipes, your showers, your family's health? What if every drop could be pure, mineral-rich, and delicious instead? Introducing the AQ Whole House water filtration system from Sentry H2O. The revolutionary two-stage powerhouse neutralizes hard and soft scale, no salt needed, while stripping away over a dozen nasty contaminants, fluoride, pesticides, bacteria, even pharmaceuticals. Custom options for city or well water, including iron and nitrates removal. For homes up to 2,500 square feet, it delivers alkaline, calcium-enriched water. Every faucet can get it. Say goodbye to dry skin and dull hair. Sentry H2O's shower water filter hydrates like a spa day. Their compact under-sink wellness system, well, it's a 5-stage filtration in zero-waste design, boost pH, adds magnesium, installs in 15 minutes, no plumber required. Thousands of families transforming their water. So folks, shop the AUK revolution at sentryh2o.com/AUK in the description box below. Please use that code AWK for 10% off, and that if you're starting a New Year's health journey, toxin-free water can help with weight loss and overall health as well. We interviewed Nelson last month. See the full interview in the link below to learn more.
Watch the videos, Jessica. It's mostly women. Yep. You can't deny it's mostly women and crazy-looking women.
Where's Governor Ventura in these protests?
Yeah, he's not the one putting his life on the line. It's mostly women, crazy-looking women, trans women, and then the guys are like the Trantifa guys.
Where's Mark Ruffalo in this?
With backpacks. Look at her. She's got a shaved head. Benny Johnson. Last night said on my show something very interesting theory. A lot of these women are single. And so you have this instinctive motherhood that's really not been able to be expressed. So they're trying to wrap their arms around the immigrant community and protect them. And it's very, very dangerous, Jessica. And sometimes women have to be protected whether they like it or not.
You and the president have mentioned that before, and I'm sorry
we
that
will protect
I missed
you.
that.
We will protect you.
I'm good,
but we're not going to protect the killers who came in from Mexico. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you know who else is getting in on this? Fetterman.
I occupy a more of a difficult space where, I happen to believe that things are true and it's really reasonable thing. And now increasingly that's getting more and more difficult right now if it happens to agree with the president or with the other side in this, very, very polarized kind of time. But, I would rather just be very honest and just kind of play it straight. I would rather be a great, honest senator than one that's just only going to play to just one side. I represent Pennsylvania, the most purple state in the country. I don't just represent Democrats. I represent 13 million Pennsylvanians, and I try to just play it straight. And I have to think that's my responsibility.
Very interesting, huh? Fetterman goes rogue, somebody said. Wanted to show you a couple more things before I get to Joe Lang. Eric Doherty showed this. In a huge win, the Supreme Court just ruled that congressional candidates can legally challenge mail-in voting laws, reviving a GOP challenge to the late counting of mail-in ballots. Illinois allows late mail-in ballots to be counted late after Election Day for up to 2 weeks. The Supreme Court has upheld Representative Boast's Republicans standing to challenge this law in favor of a single election day. Awesome. These laws must be overturned. We have an election day. A couple of other reminders. The state of Oregon started mail-in ballots in elections 44 years ago. The last Republican mayor of Portland, Oregon was 45 years ago. Does that make sense now? Thank you, C3. Also, Elon Musk showing us Oregon to remove up to 800,000 voters from electoral rolls. Oh, boy. 800,000 voters found to be improperly registered to vote in Oregon. What a mess. Oh, will we ever see this all cleaned up? I don't know, because we got these crazies, the rhinos, the Republicans. That's right. The U.S. House rejected a measure to strip staff funding from rogue Judge James Boasberg, 163 to 257. Can you believe it? 46 Republicans voted against it. Unbelievable. The proposal from Chip Roy would have slashed D.C. Circuit Court funding by 20% and pulled staff funding from judges abusing their power. Roy said it plainly. These two individuals have been particularly egregious in their contempt of the president and putting their personal views in front of their duty as judges to carry out the jobs that they hold. This wasn't radical. It was accountability. Activist judges thumbing their nose at the president, Congress refusing to act, and Republicans helping Democrats protect the rot. If judges want to play politics, they don't deserve taxpayer-funded protection. Remember the 46 Republicans who did this. So they had an outage, the disruption, the major cell carriers went down. Zero Lang, I like his views on a lot of this stuff. There's more happening behind the scenes guided by the military than most people realize. Military is the only way. It's war and it's heating up. Is the stage being set? Now, I put his article in the description box below this video so you can read the entire thing, but I'm going to go through some of this. Remember the Q drop 190 from November 22nd, 2017. USA versus necessary to cut strings from foreign bad actors. Necessary to form worldwide alliances to defeat. Think Merkel is a coincidence? They are puppets. They're weak. They're scared. 80% dark ops necessary. 20% public for justice. Wow, so we're only getting 20%. The stage must be set. Have faith. Question. What are the odds that these two stories are related? What two stories? Story number one. Disruption reported at major U.S. cell carriers. Down Detector, the website that tracks real-time outages and service disruptions across the internet, reported moments ago that users of Verizon, and this was yesterday, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, and U.S. Cell are experiencing disruptions and outages that began within an hour. At a more granular level of the Verizon outage, reports indicate that outages and disruptions were being logged across the Washington, Baltimore region, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Houston, and areas near Seattle. Reports of AT&T outages were widespread in the central U.S. Reports of T-Mobile outages were widespread as well. So, story number two. The Trump administration has followed through on its stated goal of designated three branches of the Muslim Brotherhood's terrorist organizations, sanctioning the groups and their members in accordance with President Trump's plan to strengthen national security. The Lebanese, Jordanian, and Egyptian chapters of the Muslim Brotherhood were designated by the U.S. State Department as foreign terrorist organizations on January 13th. The group's leader, Mohammed Fazi Takash, has also been named as a specially designated global terrorist. The Department of the Treasury also named the Egyptian Muslim Brotherhood and Jordanian Muslim Brotherhood as specially designated global terrorists for providing material support to the Hamas terrorist group. These designations reflect the opening actions of an ongoing sustained effort to thwart Muslim Brotherhood chapters' violence and destabilization wherever it occurs, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said in a statement January 13th. The United States will use all available tools to deprive these Muslim Brotherhood chapters of the resources to engage in or support terrorism. The State Department designated the Lebanese branch a foreign terrorist organization, the most extreme label, which makes providing support to the group a criminal offense. Wow. So let's go forward on this. Is it happening? We had a Q drop 3881 from February 24th, 2020 that said this. Listen carefully. Think regarding why no arrests, justice yet. Why is there no justice yet? What if almost every critical position within the U.S. government apparatus was infiltrated? What must be done first? The swamp runs deep. Sleepers. Sleepers? Oh, you mean people that are activated only when they're ready to activate them, right? The enemy. They're sleepers. They infiltrate. They don't tell you who they are. You think everything's great, and all of a sudden they're in the government, and then they wake them up and say, okay, it's your turn. Backgrounds are important. Muslim Brotherhood. List of in the news now names with known ties to Islam. This is not another 4-year election. Assumptions correct. Package well received and known. Q. Why no arrest, justice yet? What must be done first? Infiltration instead of invasion. We were told April 22nd, 2018, the process of settlement is a civilization jihadist process with all the word means. The Muslim Brotherhood must understand that their work in America is a kind of grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house by their hands and the hands of the believers. Civilization jihad, infiltration, war. Sounds like what we're going through. Thank you, Joe Lang, for that. You remember that the Clintons didn't show up. Watch Bill Clinton's empty chair deposition after he refused to appear. That was from the Oversight Committee. They actually had William J. Clinton empty. Remember James Comer said it's a shame the Oversight Committee going to have a contempt of Congress deal. Well, Ultra Magadine Erickson, who's going to be on the cruise with us, said learn your comms. Bill Clinton did not show up for his deposition, and his hearing started at exactly 10:07 Eastern Standard Time. Well, take out the O's and you get the number 17. Also, remember, in the official drop from October 28, 2017, the rubber duck reminding us, Hillary Clinton, extradition already in motion with several countries in case of cross-border run. Passport approved to be flagged effective. Expect massive riots organized in defiance and others fleeing the U.S. to occur. U.S. Marshals will conduct the operation while National Guard is activated. My, how we come full circle, almost as if there was a plan. Remember, Liz Crocombe was there reminding everybody, I wonder which country Hillary Clinton will try to flee to. Remember, Tom Hanks, they found him, supposedly the Tom Hanks, fled to Greece, where they don't do anything to people who like to take advantage of children. Do you guys remember that? For those that are new, yeah, look it up.
Going to see to that. And Rob, the other thing as Treasury, who carries out the sanctions, we can see is we are now seeing the rats fleeing the ship, because we can see millions, tens of millions of dollars being wired out of the country, snuck out of the country by the Iranian leadership. So they are abandoning ship, and we are seeing it come into banks and financial institutions all over the world. And what we do at Treasury is we follow the money, whether it is through the typical banking system or through digital assets. We are going to trace these assets, and they will not be able to keep them.
You'll freeze those.
Yep, Iran, big trouble. The other day I saw this post. Remember, there was a lot of killings going on from the government killing the people of Iran. Going to read what he says as he talks. He said, guys, I just arrived in Turkey with a lot of trouble. I'm not feeling well at all. They're killing everyone. They're killing everyone. They're killing people's kids in the street. And he's crying, folks. Only foreign help matters. Only foreign help matters. Everyone calls the prince. He's not really a prince. The prince symbolizes freedom. It has nothing to do with royalty. People see him as a savior. They're killing people. They're ruthlessly shooting down anything they are doing. Whatever they want, they're shooting him. My flight was canceled. All international flights from Tehran, all foreign flights are canceled. I barely got an Iranian flight back. I'm really not feeling well. Only foreign help matters. You can't understand until you're in Iran. Trump or whoever it is, only foreign help matters. All the kids' hope is in you. Whoever is outside Iran, I'm just a drop in the ocean. I can only tell you how I feel. I saw hell. I saw hell in Iran these past few days. Only foreign help matters. How can we get help? I don't know. I don't think it'll pass. I don't know who can help us. They're drowning people in blood. They're shooting directly at chests, killing mercilessly. Now, I'm going to bring something over. It's not going to be too graphic. You're just going to hear a lot of sounds and smoke. You'll see smoke. But just a few days ago, this is what they were talking about when President Trump was asked about Iran and going on. This were IDF soldiers opening fire and unarmed Palestinian civilians. Outrage would be universal. This is Iran, the IRGC, an occupying regime shooting unarmed Iranians in their own streets. That's what he's talking about. It's from Cena. A lot of graphic content. There's a lot of close-up stuff that I can't show you, where they're just walking up, military just walking up to people out of Iran, and they're just taking people out. It's been happening for a while now. President Trump brought this up again.
We have been notified and pretty strongly, but we'll find out what that all means. But we've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping, and it's stopped, and it's stopping. And there's no plan for executions or an execution or executions. So I've been told that on good authority. We'll find out about it. I'm sure if it happens, we'll all be very upset, including you will be very upset. But that's just gotten to me, some information that the killing has stopped, that the executions have stopped. They're not going to have an execution, which a lot of people were talking about for the last couple of days. Today was going to be the day of execution.
Interesting. Today was going to be the day of execution, but it's been stopped. Attorney General Pam Bondi said this past week the request of Department of War, the Department of Justice, FBI executed a search warrant at the home of a Washington Post journalist, who was obtaining and reporting classified and illegally leaked information from a Pentagon contractor. The leaker is currently behind bars. I'm proud to work alongside Secretary Hegseth on this effort, not tolerate legal leaks of classified information that, when reported, pose a grave risk to our nation's national security and the brave men and women who are serving our country. Good. That's what we want to see. We've got a lot to talk about when it comes to Greenland in a moment. There were some meetings. It's going to be good. Folks, I'm feeling so much better now that I've visited Chad and Katie Brewer, and they gave me their Fortify 365 NAD+, a coenzyme found in every cell of your body. I'm telling you, sharper, stronger, and more energized. It fuels my brain function. I can tell. It boosts the energy, supports metabolism, helps my cells repair and regenerate. And I was just overwhelmed when I took this stuff. As we age and we face stress and illness, or addiction, NAD drops those levels, leaving us tired and foggy. Well, glutathione is the body's master antioxidant, so it's combined NAD plus glutathione. It detoxifies the liver and as a result supports the immune system and reduces inflammation and oxidative stress. So together, NAD plus and glutathione are powerful anti-aging combo. You can actually get this in the description box below. Click on the link in the description box, fortify365.com/OC. You're looking at your screen. Denmark and Greenland officials arrived at the White House to meet with Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary Marco Rubio. Listen to this.
And we therefore still have a fundamental disagreement, but we also agree to disagree. And therefore we will, however, continue to talk. We have decided to form a high-level working group to explore if we can find a common way forward. The group, in our view, should focus on how to address the American security concerns, while at the same time respecting the red lines of the Kingdom of Denmark. We expect that such a group will meet for a first time within a matter of weeks. And then I will pass the floor to my colleague from Greenland, Vivian Mosfeld.
Wow. Denmark's foreign minister changing course. Find a common way forward with Trump's desire to own Greenland. Oh, boy. Well, how do they feel about that in the Europe?
Greenland.
Oh, here's Ursula von der Leyen.
Belongs to its people. So
Greenland belongs to its people.
It's up to Denmark and Greenland, and only to them, to decide on matters that are concerning Denmark and Greenland. That's point number one, that's very important. Greenland is part of NATO. And when we are speaking about Arctic security, this is one of the core topics of NATO. And we know that the glue between the allies is the fact that there's always the clear motto, one for all for one. So NATO is one forum to integrate the different interests that are out there.
Oh, boy. Jim Ferguson chimed in. Ursula just showed her hand. She declared that Greenland belongs to Denmark and NATO, directly rebuking President Trump. Let's translate that. This isn't about the Greenlandic people. This is about Brussels panicking because Trump is exposing the Arctic power game. Greenland controls the Northern Missile Corridor, Arctic shipping lanes, rare earth minerals, and the gateway to North America. That makes it one of the most important strategic territories on Earth. And Trump said the quiet part out loud. If the U.S. doesn't secure it, China or Russia will. Von der Leyen's response wasn't to protect the West, it was to protect EU control. She wrapped it in pretty words about NATO unity, but what she really meant was Brussels gets a veto over American security. That's what this is about. Trump isn't breaking the alliance, he's breaking the illusion that unelected EU bureaucrats get to decide the future of the Arctic. Greenland is not a Brussels bargaining chip. It is the northern shield of the United States. And for the first time in decades, America has a president willing to say it. Ursula doesn't hate Trump because he's reckless. She hates him because he won't let Europe freeload on American security while selling the future to Beijing, China. This is what real leadership looks like. And President Trump said the United States needs Greenland for the purpose of national security. It is vital for the Golden Dome that we're building. NATO should be leading the way for us to get it. If we don't, Russia or China will, and that is not going to happen militarily without the vast power of the United States, much of which I built during my first term and am now bringing to a new and even higher level. NATO would not be an effective force or deterrent, not even close. They know that, and so do I. NATO becomes far more formidable and effective with Greenland in the hands of the United States. Anything less than that is unacceptable. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And while this is playing out, Germany will now deploy troops to Greenland after Rubio and Vance meet with Danish and Greenland officials at the White House. President Trump's very serious about taking Greenland. DC Drano said, so let me get this straight. Germany will send troops to Greenland to fight America, but wouldn't send troops to Greenland to defend against China or Russia. Oh, let's see how it works. Well, let's go on to Alpha Fox and see what kind of video clip they put together. He said he was on the fence for, with the US taking Greenland, but it sounds like a good deal for everyone, huh? Really?
Join the United States willingly and receive $100,000 per Greenlander, or face forced annexation, expanding U.S. landmass by over 20% while eliminating the Danish military as NATO allies watch in silence. The move breaks China's tech monopoly by seizing massive neodymium and praseodymium deposits, giving Greenlanders 100% employment in high-paying mining while achieving independence for EV batteries and AI chips, funding an infrastructure blitz of roads, hospitals, and satellite grids. Patuxent Space Base expands into Northern Command, turning the island into an unsinkable aircraft carrier where radars detect ICBMs 20 minutes earlier and F-35s reach Moscow or Beijing in hours, blocking China's Polar Silk Road and trapping Russia's northern fleet. The melting Northwest Passage cuts Atlantic to Pacific transit by 40% versus Panama or Suez. U.S. security tolls generate massive revenue while making Greenland the center of 21st century shipping. The U.S. secures 10% of global fresh water and 50 billion barrels of offshore oil, turning Greenland from frozen dependency into the wealthiest per capita territory on Earth.
Oh, wow. U.S. landmass expanded by 20%. Rare earth mineral deposits for AI and lithium batteries, 100% employment for Greenlanders. Wow. 10% of the fresh water in the world. Man, can't beat that. What else did I see? Julie Donuts dropped this one. Greenland people want America to help their country, which has been run by Denmark. Deep state players, by the way.
It's going to be a big problem for him, meaning the premier of Greenland.
Well, thanks for having me. I guess I would say I think it's a big problem on multiple fronts, mainly because his own people have made it quite clear in Greenland that they want support from the United States. There is no NATO, there is no Greenlandic security without the United States. We're already providing not only the security of Greenland, but essentially Denmark's, the entire European security. It's ridiculous for him to talk about how he's going to have to choose between the two. And he's not speaking with the consent of his own constituents when making these kinds of ridiculous statements. So I think President Trump is absolutely right to call him on that ridiculous statement.
As we wait to see what comes out of this meeting between Vance, Rubio, Greenland, and Denmark, is there a sweet spot here, Drew, where everyone gets what they want, everyone gets what they need, and quite frankly, everyone gets to save face? And if so, Drew, what is that sweet spot?
There absolutely is a sweet spot. And, I think that there's just a lot of, ridiculous narrative coming from the Europeans on this particular subject. What President Trump is offering is billions of dollars of investment in the form of private investments and projects, all of which we're looking at that span from AI data centers to multiple rare earth and critical minerals projects. I mean, the sky is the limit, and everybody benefits from this, including the Danes, including the EU, including NATO, but most importantly, the Greenlanders, who have overwhelmingly said they want investment and support from the United States. They want a pathway towards independence, and they are absolutely tired of being exploited and oppressed by the Danes as they have been for the last 100 years. The era of colonialism is over, and it's time to let people achieve their own destiny. No one is going to stand in the way of the Greenlanders achieving the goal that they want, and they need the United States for that.
Yeah, to that point, what do you make of this idea of increasing NATO's presence in Greenland to counteract the threat of China and Russia? Is that enough? Should that be enough for the United States in light of the fact that Trump has said his concern with Greenland is Chinese and Russian investment taking over whatever? Or is this really about the minerals and the mineral rights and being able to unlock what Greenland has to offer to help us economically as well?
Well, there's obviously a joint nexus between national security and economic development. I mean, looking at this from the president's perspective, my opinion is he realizes that you need to do both. And so the reality is NATO is not able to protect itself without the United States. I think we need to stop pretending that there's some sort of world in which NATO exists without the United States. We've been propping it up for years and years and years. And obviously the European members need to do more of a part to contribute and pull their weight. So they do need to contribute more towards the collective Arctic security. Obviously the United States is, as it has been, going to continue to be the primary contributor and protector there. But at the same time, collectively, we need to look at investment and growth across the board that allows us to pair that with that national security. It's overwhelmingly what the Greenlanders want. It's what the United States wants. It's, in private conversations what the Danes and the EU wants. Let's just stop playing games and pretending here and let the United States bring these options that everybody wants, and we all will benefit from them.
Drew Horn with
We're all going to benefit from them. All of us. As a matter of fact, we should have maybe go up there and see the Northern Lights. What do you guys think? Some other things out there. Trump's Fed takedown, the real revolution.
Here's where it gets really interesting, and why Trump's Fed comments are just as important as the exposure of the Obama plot against Trump. Trump and his economic team aren't just exposing the inner workings of a decades-long coup against him. They are preparing the American people for a huge economic fight.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing you into a public and heated discussion about the very viability of the Federal Reserve. Listen to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent.
Before we listen to him, Rubber Duck said this. This is for the people in the back that have been, they've been paying attention. Number one, when Trump calls Jerome Powell too late, it has nothing to do with Jerome Powell. Trump is telling you that the Fed is dead since 2020, and nothing could change or stop what's coming. It's too late. Barack Obama signed Jerome Powell's commission to the Fed chair in 2012 with the auto pen, which will be impeached. We've been telling you this, and we've been right for 10 years. When we get curious.
I think that what we need to do is examine the entire Federal Reserve institution and whether they have been successful.
Now listen to Kevin Warsh's comments about the Fed. Warsh is being considered as a replacement for Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell whenever and however Powell's term ends. Here's what Warsh said about the Fed. We need regime change in the conduct of policy. But Warsh's other remarks are frankly even more interesting because he takes to task some hallowed Fed axioms. He said, The Fed seems to see every sign of economic growth as inflationary. That's not how it should be. Economic growth isn't inflation. Growth is how you solve these problems, not cause them. They think inflation comes if the economy runs too hot and workers get paid too much. That's not my view.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Trump himself, who continues to call Powell a numbskull and drills down on the fact that the Fed's high interest rate policies make it impossible for young people to own a home.
That's right.
Put all of that together, and you begin to see a concept arising of a different kind of banking system, one that supports a decent standard of living driven by the actual growth of the economy and not the demands of the empire of money. That was once widely known as the American system.
That's right.
Now, Judy Shelton, who was nominated for the Fed in Trump's first term but wasn't confirmed, tiptoed a little closer to the question of the constitutionality, or really the unconstitutionality of the Fed. She said, "I don't think it is the role of the Fed to stand in judgment of the economic policies of an elected president. It violates the norms of democratic government to have the head of an agency who is so powerful they can't be fired." Now, in that same CNBC interview, she pointed out that the Fed has been paying hundreds of billions of dollars to private banks for parking cash reserves at the Fed rather than investing in the real economy.
That's right.
Think about that. They're literally paying banks not to invest in productive activity. And the question of productive activity and growing our way out of our deficit crisis and the need to have institutions that support that has become a driving theme of Trump and his allies. This is exactly what William McKinley understood over 120 years ago, that the financial system should serve the productive economy, not the other way around. Trump is bringing back the American system that built this country into an industrial powerhouse. Now,
good stuff. As a matter of fact, other things that are happening, they're giving the bankers a hard time is silver. Silver prices surged above $93 an ounce for the first time in history, now up 30% in 2026. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the asset owner rally we are witnessing right now is unprecedented. It sure enough is, folks. I've got another interview we're dropping this Saturday. Dr. Kirk Elliott and I are meeting here quickly to get more information out on what's going on. But man, guys, I just think it's going to keep climbing higher and higher. They've suppressed it for so long. They've been caught. And man, you just, if you jump on this train, and we know.com/gold, reach out to Dr. Kirk Elliott. Jump on this, folks. It is absolutely amazing. It's changing our life. IRA has been converted over to silver and so much more. Absolutely amazing. Other great things going on is the Florida Department of Health randomly bought 25 baby formulas from stores. Almost 70% of the baby formulas they bought tested positive for heavy metals like arsenic, lead, and mercury. Wow.
Today, as part of our Healthy Florida
This is Casey DeSantis speaking on baby formula concerns.
First initiative, we are launching what will be a series of, I believe, major announcements focused on safety and integrity of our food supply. We are beginning with baby formula because it affects the most vulnerable among us, and we have an obligation that we absolutely must get this right. The Florida Department of Health has collected 24 infant formulas from 7 different brands purchased for multiple locations, both online and in stores. Those samples were tested for arsenic, cadmium, lead, and mercury. And what we found in those 24 samples was troubling. Of the 24 infant formulas tested, 16 of those formulas contained at least one, if not more, heavy metals that exceeded federal standards. There is a silver lining, however, that is really important to mention. Some of the formulas did not show elevated levels. That tells us that contamination is not inevitable. There are better choices for parents, but we have to stay on top of this, and we have to drive accountability.
Which leads right into milk.
Today, I'm delighted to sign the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act into law, which is a very important thing for our farmers and I think maybe more important for our people, the people that drink milk. This is the first bill signing of the new year, and it will ensure that millions of school-aged children have access to high-quality milk as we make America healthy again.
It's amazing for those listening instead of watching. President Trump's in the Oval Office, and he's got some young children standing right next to him. How amazing for those kids, huh?
I want to thank Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins, who's behind me, Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Senators John Boozman and Mike Crapo, Roger Marshall, Peter Welch, as well as Representative G.T. Thompson and Tim Walberg, all great people. Also with us today is USDA National Nutrition Advisor Dr. Ben Carson, my friend for a long time. We went head to head, and it was not easy going head to head with Ben. He's like great. He still looks good. That's because he drinks a lot of milk. And some of our nation's wonderful dairy farmers and their children, they're going to be farmers for a long time, we hope. As it currently stands, schools participating in the National School Lunch Program are only able to offer students low or non-fat milk options. That was changed during the Obama administration, and a lot of people disagreed with it at the time. With this legislation, schools will finally be able to expand their offerings to include nutritious whole milk. It's actually a legal definition, whole milk. And it's whole with a W for those of you that have a problem. Most of the media will get that.
Interesting how Obama at it again. His name pops up again as somebody who tried to hurt our children. Seems to never end, does it?
Let's sign it. Should I sign
So
it?
President Trump's officially signing the Whole Milk or Healthy Kids Act into law, and he looks at the children, and he's getting them closer so that they can witness him sign this, and that is just amazing.
This is right.
And he's got a bottle of milk right there on his desk while he's signing it, folks, and it's pretty cool. Oh, man, that just brings a smile to us all. And there's the little children smiling and excited. They got a chance to spend the day there with him, right? Some time with him. Ben Carson had something to say.
Of neurons every single day. Continue to do that right up until the mid to late 20s. Now, it's important what that brain is getting during the development. Is it getting soda or is it getting milk?
So milk would help your cognitive ability.
Absolutely. You can tell who's been drinking.
Take a cognitive test. I've taken a lot of them. I've aced every one of them because I drink milk.
Oh, that's so funny. So funny. Well, doctors are actually suing RFK about the new vaccine schedule. The plaintiffs, American Academy of Pediatrics, American College of Physicians, Infectious Diseases Society of America, American Public Health Association, Society for Maternal Fetal Medicine, and others. They filed this suit against the U.S. Department of HHS and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. regarding changes in federal vaccine policy. The lawsuit argues that the vaccine modifications will burden physicians by requiring more individualized time and conversations with parents. It'll force clinicians to weigh patient risk versus benefits for each decision regarding vaccines. It'll disrupt routine workflow. So doctors are suing because they don't want to take the time to talk with you about your health decisions. They don't want to take the time to make sure the risk versus benefit of the medication they want to inject makes sense for your specific child. They want you to be in and out of their clinic quickly. They want to do the same thing for every child, regardless of your personal situation. They want to rush you through, but claim it's so they can help more people. But we know the real reason. The more people they see, the more money they make. 4 Colorado Democrats introduced a bill that would allow children to change their names, suppress records documenting a name change, and allow the court to strip away parents' rights if they do not affirm their child's name change. Democrats want to tear children away from parents who don't conform to radical gender ideology. This is deranged. And, Holly had to deal with this with Dr. Nisha Verma, asking if men could get pregnant 11 times.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since you bring it up, why don't we just start there? Dr. Verma, I wasn't sure I understood your answer to Senator Moody a moment ago. Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I mean, I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women. I take care of people with different identities. And so that's where I paused. I think, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is just the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question is.
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics.
Ooh.
So let's just test that proposition.
That's right.
Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities, but
can men get pregnant?
Many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women. That
Can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying,
Let me just remind you what you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence should control, not politics. So can men get pregnant? You're a doctor, I think.
Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men, can they get pregnant?
I also think yes/no questions like this are a political tool. And
No, yes/no questions are about the truth, doctor. Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding. This is about science and evidence, and I'm asking you. You know, the United States Supreme Court just heard arguments yesterday at great length on this question. This is not a hypothetical question. This is not theoretical. It affects real people in their real lives.
That's right.
And you're here as an expert, called by the other side as an expert, and you've been telling us that you follow, right, you're a doctor, and you follow the science and the evidence. So I just want to know, based on the science, can men get pregnant? That's a yes or no question. It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of
I'm not. I'm trying to get, it's not complex. I'm trying to get to an answer, and I'm trying to test, frankly, your veracity as a medical professional and as a scientist. Can men get pregnant?
I think you're also conflating
This is
male
extraordinary.
female with
No, I'm not conflating male and female. They're two different things. There's biological men and there's biological women. And I want to know, can men get pregnant?
what you were talking about is biological.
You're not going to answer my question, it sounds like.
Biological males.
This isn't hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no?
Again, I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you that is not coming from a place of trying to be polarized and push.
I'm not trying to be polarizing. I'm trying to ask. I think it is extraordinary that we are here in a hearing about science and about women. And for the record, it's women who get pregnant, not men.
It also
We are here about the safety of women and science that shows that this abortion drug causes adverse health events in 11% of cases. That's 22 times greater than the FDA.
So what do you guys think? Does it drive you crazy? You getting upset? You feeling it? Do you feel sorry for you? Do you realize the demonic deception that happens across all these spectrums? Send them out to college. Study the books. Become a doctor. You'll be an expert. It'll be wonderful. Here's a declassified CIA document on MKUltra where they openly discuss drugging the population. Drugs placed in food, water, Coca-Cola, beer, liquor, cigarettes, or even vaccinations that slowly create anxiety, hopelessness, tension, or crushing depression over long periods. It's real government paperwork. They literally wanted to depress and anxiety max entire populations covertly. It's not fiction. They also wanted to destroy us. Remember the Georgia Guidestones. The demons wanted 13 out of 14 humans gone. The good guys destroyed the Georgia Guidestones in July 2020, says Julie Donuts. By the way, she's going to be on the cruise with us. We blew up their sick plan symbolically. Now it's in real time. Here's a clip from that.
Let me take you on a field trip to Georgia, US.
Remember, this is from Fall of Cabal, official. Remember?
On a hill in Elbert County, there is a granite monument called the Georgia Guidestones. Built in 1980, the monument is veiled in mystery. It was commissioned by a man who used the pseudonym R.C. Christian. He paid a handsome price, but insisted on remaining anonymous. The monument consists of 4 massive standing stones, 1 slab stone at the top, carried by a pillar stone, plus 1 explanatory stone. Two things are captivating. First of all, the monument is an astronomical clock and calendar, focused on the sun, the moon, the equinoxes, and the solstices. A hole was drilled in one of the stones, through which one can see the North Star. Secondly, the stones contain text, information about the future Earth and the era of reason. It is written in 8 modern languages. The shorter message is inscribed all around the top stone in 4 ancient languages: Babylonian, Classical Greek, Sanskrit, and Ancient Egyptian. This is the message. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. In short, population control, the annihilation of a large part of the population, pacific reproduction through eugenics, one language, one world court, social duties over personal rights, reason over passion, prize truth, whose truth, and nature over the human race, the cancer of the earth. And not to forget what they call the age of reason. Not the age of love, or the age of compassion, or the age of abundance for all. Obviously, this monument cannot be accused of being a hoax. After all, it simply stands there. So, what are we looking at? Who on earth was the mysterious Mr. Christian who was willing to pay so much money for something so intricate and controversial? It seems to us that the Georgia Guidestones perfectly demonstrate the goal of the cabal, the protocols of Zion, and the way they've been trying to hide their true intentions, by means of the eagerly gullible term sustainability. So, what do we see in our world today that is a reflection of these guidelines, these goals? Enter the United Nations. Believed by the majority of the people to be a wonderful institution, the UN was founded right after World War II.
That's right, the UN, the ones that helped import all the Somalis into America. You guys catching on yet? How this is all coming together? How the cabal had to be systematically destroyed? And how long it takes over many, many years. Many years. Reminder, why no arrests, justice yet? What if almost every critical position within the U.S. government was infiltrated? What must be done first? The swamp runs deep. There's sleepers. The backgrounds are important. Muslim Brotherhood. This is not another 4-year election. Let's not forget that.
For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, once again, we come before your throne, amazed at the amount of information that we receive day in and day out. We also think through all of the things that are going on around us and sincerely appreciate those that are on the front lines. And we lift up to you specifically Nick Shirley and others that are out there doing all they can to expose this evil. Think of Nick Sorator also. We lift them up to you for protection, including President Trump and all the other leaders that are fighting against this enemy who has infiltrated this country. maybe somehow, some way, before they're deported, may they be handed Bibles to take back with them to their nations. And may that truth, the word of truth, somehow permeate the souls of the people who need it the most, who have been deceived by these politicians who are evil and need to be arrested. We see it. We understand it. We know that you know all of this, and in the end, you win. We ask for continued guidance and direction how we speak with our friends and how we deal with those that are still doubting the things that are playing out and the destruction of the old guard. May we have patience, understanding, and somehow, in some way, be guided by the Holy Spirit to answer those that are asking questions. We certainly need your help with that. We bring this all before you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. We are truly thankful for your prayers and just a lot of information. I get it, and I know some of you feel like it's just a lot thrown at you day in and day out. I get it, but we're just going to continue to push forward. I believe this is what we're supposed to do. The voice has to be heard. The truth has to get out the best that we can, and we're certainly hoping to see great things happen in the next few weeks, if not months, leading up to the midterms, that's for sure. For now, it's LT Semper Fi, with them we know, signing out.
I can't say a lot, but let me say this. Okay. We are aware of this coordinated effort. We are aware that this is being financed. We are aware that there are actual groups, well coordinated, to attack the men and women of ICE and to try to prevent them from doing their jobs.
We're not because of f***ing 2,000 providers. Are you f***ing mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid. Where's the transportation company?
What about if a mass shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. It will be because of you.